You. This is Deirdre, the mystic, or your mystic, or somebody's mystic. But we are now in the time where the mystical experience is really starting to pop for people. Everybody I talk to, it seems like this day, not everybody, but many people are saying, I had this experience. I had this kind of phenomenon happen. It was a little bit different. It was a little bit out of body. Wasn't a normal experience that I have. Why is that happening? Well, today we're talking about family and how to heal the family, how to find that reconnect to our family, because no matter how hard we try, we can't get rid of our family, right? It's like our parents are in our head, our brothers, our sisters, our kids. Like, you can run, but you cannot hide from the story of our family. And in our close family, in our close-knit family, it's very personal. And that experience is why it's so here right now for you and for everybody who is beginning to hear this rapids, the rapid of this river. Because the time-space continuum is a river of energy coming from the source of, we would say, the great central sun, or the I am presence, or the Ein Sof, the heaven, whatever word one uses. The light, or the life force of time and space, is a river that's always pouring. And we're a part of this river. We are a co-creator of this river here in our world. And the missing link to being able to navigate on this river is an understanding of deep mystical love. I say mystical love because it is the love that makes no sense, the love that brings miracles, the love that brings forgiveness and softens rigidity in heart, the love that opens one's mind to having a completely different perception of another person. Say you've held a judgment on someone, and then one day you're like, oh my gosh, I was completely wrong in my perception. How could that be? So that is the mystical love, the love that we don't understand. But it is the love that is necessary to reconnect with those we love. So I sent out in my weekly message a few days ago to prepare for today the conversation about what happens when we come from a broken family, what happens when there are experiences in our family that we just can't seem to heal from. What do we do? Well, the first step is to take care of your heart, to have in your meditation, as part of your practice, a affirmation, a mantra of self-love. So I just want to give you one right now that I use. And the reason you want to do this is that in order to find a bridge for healing brokenness, family, neighbors, whatever it is, the first step is to come from a place of wholeness in oneself. Now, we'll never be fully whole, but we can be more complete. And so taking care of our heart and mending our heart back together with prayer, with affirmation, really is the first step to healing any kind of brokenness that you're experiencing in your life, so that you can have connection, deep connection, that satisfying connection where you feel, wow, everything's right in the world. I'm not afraid. I mean, imagine what that would feel like if you, you say, wow, I'm not afraid. I don't have fear. Because we're all afraid today. There's a lot of reasons to feel afraid. But we must access this place of not feeling fear in order to meet the challenges that are in front of us in our close family, in our global family. So this affirmation is to heal your heart. And it's just to go simply like this in your morning time. This is the first thing you wake up in the morning. You can sit up in bed or you can lay down. It doesn't matter. If you have an altar, you go there. Have tea. It doesn't matter. But you just go within, look within. And we enter a prayer. Say, beloved heart. Heart, golden heart. My golden heart of eternal life. Thank you for being my heart. I love you so. You are a magnificent heart. And this morning I send you the healing light of creation, of all that is, to fill you and to heal you. I know you feel broken. I know there are places that you have thoughts where you just can't let them go. But today I'm going to fill you with light, the healing light that will mend the places you feel broken. And I see you right now becoming this magnificent golden heart, completely full of vibrant energy, completely whole, completely safe. And I see you healing. And I send you the light, the forgiving light, to forgive you for misunderstanding and to forgive those who misunderstand you. I affirm that we are together here in the central pillar of peace, the core of my soul. And today I will go forward together with you in wholeness, my beautiful heart. Let's go. So let's just take a moment to let that kind of sink in. There. So this prayer, anything like it, anything similar to it, talking to your heart, is really the first connection to healing from brokenness in your family. And then the next step is to take this affirmation, and when you think of that trauma, you think of that brokenness, you go to a family function, that you say this affirmation before you come. And then the next step I want to share, and again, this is going into mystical love, that kind of love that is beyond the norm, the healing love. And that is, I want to share with you my core value. I've been talking a lot about core values in the past year. And this one is to love no matter what. Now, when I first got my core value, it was to love. I would say, okay. And then the voice came, and the voice said about 5 months later, "Oh, there's a piece you forgot. It's to love no matter what." I said, "That's going to be really hard." What does that mean? So, to love no matter what doesn't mean that you put up with bad behavior, you allow someone to abuse you, to speak harshly to you. It doesn't matter. It does not mean that. It doesn't mean that you don't stand up for your rights. To love no matter what means that you speak with wisdom and clarity and truth, however it's necessary. And when there is a disturbance or a disconnect, that even though there is this disconnect, you still are having an experience of divine connection with another soul. You don't disconnect. Now, I'm really talking about energy here. Then this, of course, is the new topic: energy, frequency, the unseen experience of our human existence. But I'm telling you that that unseen experience of the human existence is really what is driving the entire ship. It is the engine. And until we go down into the engine room, the ship is going to be off course. So that is what the mystic is we go down into the into the bowels of the ship, and okay, how am I going to make this engine work? And that's what we work. That's what energy is. That's when we pray, there's an energy we're exchanging. Our thoughts are energy, our feelings are energy. Everything is pure energy. So when you're having this disturbance, stay connected to the other person in an energetic field of love. Now, that's not easy to do. Not easy, especially when one's heart is enraged with anger. And as I've shared before, I'm a quick trigger. I get angry easy, so I know exactly what that feels like. But you can take a moment in that anger, go into that prayer, that meditation, and quickly soften the flames and come into a state of wisdom, of accessing your great wisdom. When you do this, you give every opportunity that could possibly happen, every potential that is in the myriad of potentials for healing, for a relationship to repair. And it can happen. I have seen it over and over, not just in my life, but in so many lives of people I've worked with and shared this with, that healing occurs. And it happens in a kind of magical way. What I mean is that a person who's been abusive will just stop being abusive. They they may change, they may come back, they apologize. You're saying to yourself, how in God's name did that happen? Well, it happened because you made a decision to be the one to hold the light, to be the mystic in the world, and just to simply hold the possibility of love no matter what. And that love, that connection works. And it works in a very deep way. It works down in the bottom of the ship, in the engine room, because it gets the engine working right. The reason we have all the disturbance, the pain, the suffering, the hardship we have in this experience of being human is because the engine room is broken. The connectors are connected wrong. The steam is going into the engine where the oil is supposed to be, and the oil is where the water is supposed to be. And that's really what's going on. And so we're in this mass state of confusion and chaos. And it's a miracle the ship is moving at all. That just shows how much divine help we have. But we can fix the ship, not by painting it a new color or putting in new windows, that helps too. But really by going down into the engine room, going down into the places in our heart and our soul, and bringing and infusing this with the conscious connection, the conscious activation of divine thought, divine light, divine wisdom, virtue. And those are the virtues that we read about all the time. But the reason the virtues aren't working is because it's not that we're not even acting that way, which many people are not acting out of virtue these days. However, it's even more important that you and I join together in the deep reservoir of our soul and live in the virtue from this place, this unseen place, the place of deep mystical connection. So these first two steps, the prayer, the mantra to heal your own heart, and entering a room where you feel afraid with that in your heart before you enter, you can say it in about 10 seconds, to hold a field, just a state of consciousness from your silent watcher of, no matter how bad this goes, I'm going to love no matter what. I'm going to be in the situation of love. This will allow you to access wisdom, your divine intuition of how to move forward, how to heal. And in saying this, there's zero tolerance for abuse, and you walk away from an abusive situation. You say no thanks, and you can still hold the love by protecting yourself. And then the last piece of this, which is very important to heal from a broken family relationship, is to have a mindfulness practice of understanding why another person would be coming from that. It doesn't mean that you let them behave like that or that it's okay. It doesn't get them off the hook. But why would they be coming from this place? What makes that other person tick? What are the mechanisms of that person that they would behave like this? Now, this comes from the Kabbalah, and I learned this from beautiful rabbis I've studied with that I'm so grateful for. But yes, this deeper understanding of another person's point of view. And what this does in the understanding of another person's point of view, of where they're coming from, it actually gives you a power, a spiritual power, for two things. One, to rebuke or to say, no, this behavior is not tolerable, and I understand where it's coming from. And two, it actually is the key to true forgiveness. And as we all know, in the Christian and the Buddhist teachings, the most important spiritual element is to forgive. But many times when we forgive, we haven't really forgiven, have we? We just kind of say we've forgiven, but there's still a lot of pain. So true forgiveness occurs only because we can understand deeply why a person would behave in a certain way. And then with that understanding, that love no matter what, that divine presence, that grace appears. That's how grace appears. So, you can actually have a practice so grace appears in your day, as opposed to just waiting for her to show up. You can actually foster the environment for grace. And that's when grace comes. And it's a moment, you know it, you've experienced it. the miraculous power of grace. And that's really what we're here about right now, is bringing more grace into our world. Because God knows we need a lot of grace right now. So thank you. Thank you for being here today. And I hope that these steps, these ancient wisdom tools that I have been so fortunate to glean from reality and sacred texts, use in my life, and also share with many, many people. It's an honor to bring them to you. Use them. They really do work. They really work. And just to finish up, I'll tell you about a little story about my Betsy, I love you, Betsy. Hi out there. Betsy co-created What the Bleep Do We Know with my husband, Will. And it is a book, Tipping Sacred Cows. And Betsy's on board. She's helped me bring this message to the world, my message. And she told me this great story about, wow, Deirdre, you're kind of rubbing off. I met this person I haven't seen in a year. And they said, wow, you've changed. What happened? What happened? And Betsy said, well, I have this woman I've been working with, and she lives by this thing, love no matter what. And I keep, I have to read everything she does, edit it, make films out of it. And I've changed. I've changed profoundly. And her friend was, wow, that's pretty cool. And Betsy's life is changing. So thanks, Betsy. Betsy said I could share that story. So it does work. It really, really works. And it's worked for me too. So here, it's for you. Enjoy. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for being part of my soul pod. Thank you for opening your mind to the mystical understanding of life. And come see me. And let's spend some time together. I'll be at Kripalu Yoga Center in September, and I'm around. So visit me on social media. Let's have a conversation. All right. Namaste, shalom. I love you.